Hurry up, it's already started. Come on. I'm here. And I got the snacks. Oh, you do? Thank you, girl. I know. Send me some of those. Yeah, send me some of those. And what do you got that? Last thing to do, and I'll be ready. Never mind all that. Scratch all that. Forget y'all. We already late. It's already started. Back to the show. Snipey. It's your girl Morgan Sinclaire, and I'm back again for another video. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and welcome to our family. And if you're old to my channel, what it do, what's good, it's your girl back again for another video. So if you're reading this title, you already know that, you know, I'm helping you guys find an apartment in quarantine. I thought I was gonna do like this big thing where I was gonna announce where I'm going, but I will be moving to the DMV, and it was so hard for me to find apartments, especially in quarantine, because I'm moving out of state and nothing's open for me to view. So I had to do a lot of research and a lot of just using my network and my resources, and I want to show you guys that it is possible to find an apartment, because this is the time that college students like me or people who've graduated, you know, if you're finding a new job, it's really hard to find a new apartment, especially if you have to move in quarantine. So I want to share with you some tips on how I found my apartment. Hopefully this will help you guys. So let's get into this video. And also throughout my whole moving process, I will be filming that as well. So the decorating, the empty apartment tour, finding my apartments, you'll see that as well on my channel. So my first and second tip kind of go hand in hand. And the first one is do not be fooled by online photos. And the second one is always find a third-party website like apartments.com, apartment finder, Zillow that you can reference for reviews. So what I mean by don't always like trust the online photos, because even though you looked at like, let's say dream apartment here on their dream website, but you go to like a third-party website like apartments.com and people are saying do not move here in big letters, you have no idea how many times where I have like kicked an apartment to the curb, tell them bye-bye, I'm not even gonna read the rest of the website because people in the reviews have wrote do not live here in big bold letters. That is a big no-no. Like if you tell me do not live here, I don't even want to like see the rest of the reason, because literally I found reasons like roaches, mice, bad management, and I mean like you have to figure out what you can live with, but I guarantee you don't want to live with things like an insect or pest problem. That ain't it. Like we ain't trying to do that. That's just nasty. So when people tell you the first time do not live here, or this is not the apartment for you in big bold letters,
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Trust and believe they're trying to help you out because they've been through it. Trust people's reviews and experiences. I definitely trust that, and that has really helped me find my exact apartment. Also, the third-party websites tell you what you can do and what you can't do in a small little like synopsis. So they give you bullets like you can get security here, or this is a gated community, or you'll say like amenities, like if you want a washer and dryer, it'll list, hey, there are washer and dryers in unit, or there are community washer and dryers inside, or there are no washer and dryers at all, so you have to go somewhere to find a washer and dryer. That is a big thing. They give you little bullet points and key things on what you can and can't have. And also you can filter your list to say I want a washer and dryer, or say I want in unit air conditioning, because believe it or not, a lot of apartments, you know, don't have in unit air conditioning. You have to buy your own unit and stuff. Like, oh hell no. It's crazy. So make sure you're doing these things and filtering, using these websites and using those filters and sorts, because that is key. So my third tip is to make a list of what you want and what you do not want. Make it be very specific, because you know that when you go towards, you know, looking at these apartments online, because everything is virtual, they do virtual tours only, so you have to be able and ready. I say write down a list. Example of my list is, again, washer and dryer in unit. I want working air, heat, and all of those things, water in the apartment, because I've dealt with in the past just amenities that are just necessary for living did not work in my past apartments. Make sure those things are on your list like that. For me, I wanted clean white walls because I want to be able to decorate any kind of way, design my own aesthetic, my own little personal flair. So if I have clean white walls, that'll give me the creative flow that I need. Hands-on management. I want management to know my name when I walk in the door and say, "Hi, how are you doing?" Or, "Morgan, you got a package today." Like, I want that easy to talk to, hands-on management, that if I have something or if something needs to be fixed, I can go to you and you're always there, and it's 24/7 because you're living in someone else's building. You're not living on your own. Wanted a quick and easy commute. I don't like traffic at all. The closer I can get to my job, the better. So I would say that if you're like me and you want a quick and easy commute, use Google Maps and use the distance feature on Google, and that can show you how far away you are from this apartment to your job, or from wherever we want to be. Some kind of security measure, security feature that was in apartments. So the apartments that I were looking at, they didn't have a security system, but they did have 24/7 security, gated communities, key passings. So things like that make me feel more secure. So I like things like that. I can compromise on those things. And make sure that you have a list, that you have some things that you can compromise on, and make sure you know the things that you will not be able to compromise on at all. I wanted like an ample amount of storage. I have a lot of clothes. You guys know I have a lot of beauty products, hair products, and everything. So I needed places to put my stuff, and I needed ample amount of storage. So when you're curating your list, make sure you write your must-haves, your compromises, and your guarantees cannot do at all. You gotta make sure that when you go talk to the managers on virtual tours, they sometimes have the managers online with you showing, or they're like on Zoom showing you the apartment, so you're able to talk to them at least face to face, like FaceTime or Zoom. They're able to answer all your questions. You also want to make a list narrowing down your apartments from like 5 to 8 apartments, because everything starts to get confusing and running together, especially because you're not really viewing these places face to face. It's all virtual. So if you don't have a physical list, you can write it down on your phone, you can write it down on some paper. If you're like me, I like to put it in a planner or some sort. And if you're like me, everything is like color coded. Like, I write in colored pencils. I make sure I write down, you know, the things that I like about the apartment, things that I don't like. Make sure you're in love with your apartment before you do the initial virtual tour, because you don't want it to be a waste of time and a waste of resources. Anything you can knock out using the third-party websites, or using the website, or just looking at the gallery on the website, or using the reviews, make sure that you knock it out first, because you just don't want a long list of apartments. Like, you don't have time for this. You have a certain amount of window to get to your apartment, and make sure your moving day is ready. So a lot of people are applying for apartments right now. Applying for apartments is a process, and it really takes as long as it can take, up to like a week or like 3 weeks. It depends on who is handling the processes. And if your apartment does background checks, then it might be longer, depending on who's handling that paperwork. Make sure you narrow it down, so when you're able to apply for the apartments, they're ready for you to move in. There's something you completely love, and you don't want to be stuck with an apartment that you completely hate, because it's sad.
Oh my god, he does it from, oh my god.
It's really sad, guys. I'm not playing. So now it's time for you to get to know your management / leasing office. Who's ever in charge, you need to know them and they need to know you. They need to know your wants, likes, dislikes, and your do not do's. They need to know your name, your voice. I'm telling you, y'all don't even understand how much I've called some of these apartments, and me and Ahmad on a first date basis. So he knows me. He'd be like, oh, I know exactly what kind of floor plan you want. And also, if you have a floor plan in your mind that's just you're in love with, write it down. Make sure that leasing management knows that, hey, I'm looking for a floor plan that is similar or exactly like this one. And just be specific in what you want. Also, ask your management those hard questions. So you're in this virtual tour, you're doing this thing virtually. It's already hard. So you need to come harder, especially looking for apartments virtually. When you ask them the hard questions, I mean, like, think of questions that you wouldn't ever think of. Have someone there as well, like your mom or a friend who can think of different questions so you can check all the boxes. So what my mom did on one of our virtual tours, she was watching and she asked about rent specials. Well, the apartment had a rent special and I didn't even think about that. She was like, are there any specials that we should know about? Like, and they actually had a rent special that was curated to my job, and I got a discount on my rent because of the company that I work with. You may want to ask about crime rate, or you may want to ask about the utility prices, and if they can't give you a price, ask for a price range, because they can say from either this point to this point, and that can help you with making a budget. So you'll know, I don't want to spend over this much. The key when getting to know your management is being kind and respectful. The more kind and respectful you are to management, the more kind and respectful they are to you. They're dealing with hundreds and hundreds of applicants, so they don't want to deal with all the other stuff, especially if you're coming at them all kind of crazy. So just be respectful. It's a customer service and you don't like people talking crazy to you, so just don't talk crazy to them. Like, that's really how it is. The last tip that I have for you guys is that you guys research. I research so much. Literally, I utilize websites, my friends, my family, friends of family, anyone who had a little bit of information on the place that I'm going. I wanted to know about it. I use social media, and that's a big thing too. Hashtags are big. So sometimes I would hashtag the place, like hashtag the place that I'm going, DMV nails. So I will pull up like nail salon places that I might want to go try. Or hashtag DMV food. They'll pull up real cool restaurants. If you follow those hashtags on social media, they'll be able to help you find the places you want to visit, places you want to eat, places you want to go. It'll tell you about the demographic, and make sure you research that as well. I'm a person who likes to be around all different types of cultures because I like the experience. I would research, hey, is this place multi-ethnic, multicultural? Will I be able to try all these different foods because I'm a foodie? On the websites for the apartments, they should have a little section where it has neighborhood or community, where you can see what's around those apartments as well. So basically, really utilize the website, because that's kind of all you have is the internet and people. Like, that's really all you have. I also use YouTube as a big resource to see what kind of apartments were out there, the food, the experience. People sometimes travel to different places, so you can watch travel vlogs. I'm still researching my places to this day because I don't want things to happen. And some things are gonna happen, and that's inevitable. But make sure you do your research and you're prepared. Your lists are concrete and organized, and make sure that you and management are best friends. So guys, that is it for this video. If you have any other advice, tips, make sure you comment down below. I would love to see your tips, because your tips will help other people in the process. And don't forget to check that description box below, and I'll have some of those key websites listed that I mentioned earlier. I love you guys so much. Love you lots. Peace.